like it a lot. I like it a lot. And it feels so good, you guys. It feels amazing. I am in love with this motorcycle. Here, let's try a quick shifter again. I might buy this. I think I'm gonna buy this. I think I'm gonna go trade in the FTR for this. What's going on YouTube? 6'5" Rider here, coming back to you with another video. This is probably one of my most exciting videos as it's the first reveal of my new bike. As you guys have seen in the intro, yes, I went ahead and finally got the 2025 Harley Davidson Pan America 1250 ST. I got it, as you can see, in the Billard gray color. You guys know this was ought to happen sooner or later. I mean, if you've seen my first ride video, test riding this bike at the Harley Davidson demo days, and which, funny enough, is actually one of my most viewed videos across the channel. You can tell my excitement in that video, and I told you guys in that video that I'm gonna go ahead and make this purchase, and you know what? We made it happen. If you haven't seen my last video, go ahead and check it out after this video, of course, but that was the final and last ride on my 2022 Indian FTR 1200, which I opted to sell that bike and go ahead for the Harley Davidson Pan America ST. You guys, I am in love with this bike. I've had it for 2 or 3 days right now. I've already put like 70 miles on it. It's amazing. Shout out to Alligator Alley Harley Davidson down in the Fort Lauderdale Sunrise area. Those guys hooked me up. I called them and I said I was looking for this specific bike in this specific color. They didn't have one on site, but they went ahead and ordered it for me. And a couple of days later, here I am with the bike. I love it so far, you guys. It's been amazing. It's super comfortable, and I just can't wait to bring you guys more content on this bike and the plans that I have for it, as well as the build. So let's stop talking. Let's go ahead and get on the bike and do a first ride and tell you guys why I bought it and the plans that I have for it. Welcome home, 2025 Harley Davidson Pan America ST. Oh, you guys, I love this bike. Honestly, like, no joke, I've owned 6 bikes and I've never been as excited about owning a motorcycle as I have with this one. Hang on one sec, I need to update something in the camera settings. Much better. I didn't have the ultra wide setting turned on the camera, so you guys can see all the glory of the Pan America 1250 ST. So as you can see, it's still in the break-in period. I only have 75 miles on the bike, but I'm still kind of conflicted in the whole break-in period. There's 2 schools of thought. One says don't rev it over 3,500 RPM or 4,000 RPM, depending on the bike that you have. Like, usually for Harleys, it's like don't rev it over 3,500 RPM. But then you have the other school of thought of people that tell you break it in exactly how you plan to ride it. I've always broken my new bikes by you know, staying under the 3500 rev range. And honestly, like, I've never had a major catastrophe or a problem with a motor, thank God. But also, there's that other school of thought, you know, like I said, of people saying break it in how you will be riding it going forward. And if you don't watch, there's another YouTuber, if you're not familiar with him, Cycle Fanatics. I'm a big fan of his channel. I watch a lot of his videos, and he just got the same bike actually, and he is ripping on that thing. And his philosophy is, and he said he's done this to all his motorcycles, is he breaks it in exactly how he plans to ride it. So this dude is like hitting the rev limiter, going all the way up to 8,000-9,000 RPM, and his bike has been fine so far. I mean, he's got a little over 1,000 miles on it. He did the first oil change on it in this last video. I'll link his channel in the description below. He just did the 1,000 mile break-in service on his bike, and there are no like shavings or particles or anything on the plug. I mean, it looks fine. So I don't know, it could go either way. I guess it just depends on how lucky you get. Tell me your thoughts in the comment below. What do you guys think about how should a motorcycle be properly broken in? I'm curious to hear everyone's thoughts, because I got about 323 miles until you know, the break-in period ends, which hits 500 miles or whatever. So let me know your thoughts. What I'm thinking about doing is just like mixing it up, doing regular shifts and then doing quick shifts, and then going up in the range and staying low, kind of, you know, going everywhere. So I'll do a little bit of mix in between. But yeah, let me know. Anyway, back to the subject. Harley Davidson Pan America 1250 ST. You guys, thank God, I am so happy with this motorcycle. If I can buy it again, I would go ahead and do that, because so far I am loving it. And if you haven't seen my FTR videos, and I'm sorry for all the FTR fans that have subscribed to my channel, I really appreciate you guys, and I hope you would stick around, because the FTR content was really good. But the problem was I was super uncomfortable on that bike. Like, I can get on that bike and maybe take it, you know, down to the beach or whatever, down to a closer bike meetup or something like that. But unfortunately, like, I couldn't do more than 30 miles consistently on the saddle. The seat was super uncomfortable. I did get another seat, but that was even more uncomfortable. The bike was just too small, and it vibrated so much. You know, I understand it was a V-twin, but so is this, and this doesn't vibrate as much as that one did. So I don't know what it was. Even though I tuned it, you know, and it smoothed it out a little bit and it made it faster, I could not get comfortable with it. I am 6'5", about 270 pounds, so I needed something that, you know, that worked for me and my size, and unfortunately the FTR was not it. But also, the FTR just doesn't belong in Florida, bro. That's not a Florida bike, because Florida is mostly highway and mostly straight flat roads, you know? So you definitely need something that is geared more towards that, rather than something like the FTR, where I feel like it's happier when you're in the twisties, when you're doing high speed, you know, cornering, taking it to the track, all that good stuff. And the beauty about this bike is it gives you the option of doing both of those things, you know, especially with the ST and the 17-inch wheels. Like, you can take this to the mountains and the twisties and kind of rip on it, which I plan on doing. Definitely not in Florida. But then you can also jump on the highway and ride for miles, dude. Ah, shit, I took the wrong turn. Let me see if I can bust a U-ey right here. Fuck, no, I can't. It's okay. I wanted to go north, but I'm going south. It's all good. More time on the bike. I mean, look at how it's not a corner, it's a on-ramp, but look how it took it, bro. It's so much ease. And like I'm on the highway going, I don't know, 60 right now. We're about to, you know, go 80 or whatever in a little bit, but like you do get a lot of wind hitting you, but you don't get buffeting, which is more important than getting a lot of wind to your face, if that makes sense. Because buffeting is basically when your helmet starts vibrating and shaking like crazy. And that basically gives you a headache, and you end up not being able to see what's in front of you because of that. So that's something I definitely am not feeling. And it's super stable on the highway, it seems. One thing I'm really annoyed about is that Harley decided to remove the steering dampener that came standard on the Special and all their previous bikes. I feel like that would have definitely stabilized the ride on the highway a little bit more, especially for a bike with smaller wheels like the Pan America ST. But dude, even though I'm getting, you know, bombarded with wind, honestly, like, I can do this all day. I can stay on the highway for a while, and then you got all the passing power. And this is me in road mode right now, not even in sport mode, bro. I feel like this is where the bike wants to be, you know, at the higher ranges, anywhere between 6,000 and 8,000 RPM, and it wants to kind of stay up there. There's definitely some vibration on the handlebars, but nothing that's, you know, super concerning or something that you can't handle like it was on the FTR, honestly. If you get some like thicker gloves or thicker grips or something, you'd be alright. I don't like the placement of the quad lock here, although it's cool, but I never like my phone in the horizontal position. I always like it in the vertical. So I might change it out, but we'll see. Actually, I'm just going to continue down here. I wanted to go up to West Palm to go to Cycle Gear, but I'm going to go to the one down south, because why the hell not? Anyway, so you guys, when I bought this bike, I had one of the biggest dilemmas I've ever had regarding, you know, buying a new motorcycle. And the reason for that was because I was in between 3 motorcycles, 2 Pan Americas and a Yamaha MT-10. And I say 2 Pan Americas because I was really considering a 2023-2024 Pan America Special, obviously a used one, because the price on those things is just insane, dude. Unfortunately, you know, that's unfortunate for the original buyers of those bikes, but, you know, for the used market, I mean, those prices went down so much. Like, I think I found a 2024 with 700 miles for like 13.5 or something like that. And it looked clean AF, but then when I connected with the guys over at Alligator Alley Harley Davidson, honestly, like, shout out to those guys, because they gave me a deal I just could not say no to. And I think I'm definitely due for some thicker gloves, because I do feel vibration on the handlebar, on the grips, and it's kind of annoying. But honestly, like, the seating position, the wind protection is decent. And again, this is my first highway ride. The seat itself is so freaking comfortable, dude. So yeah, like I said, the other option that I was really having a hard time deciding was whether to get an MT-10, a Yamaha MT-10,
or a Harley Davidson Pan America. And that was really tough, dude. That was really tough because I've been dreaming about an MT10 for like a year now. And it's such a cool bike. But again, the problem with it, and the reason why I decided to go the ST route, is the fact that the MT10 is, again, not a Florida bike. Like if I lived in California, if I lived back home in Virginia, if I lived, you know, somewhere that has mountains, you know, and twisties and whatnot, then I probably would have went for an MT10 because that bike is insane. And so that's why, like, I was like, you know what, let me do the best of both worlds, get a bike I can tour on that also has 17-inch wheels, that has a quick shifter, that has cruise control, that can basically do it all except for go off-road because, you know, we got rid of the knobbies and the 19-inch front. The suspension on this thing is amazing. It is a electronic suspension specifically for preload, so you don't have to mess around with that, but you do have to mess around with the compression and dampening settings, which I haven't done so yet. I feel like I do need to mess around with them a little bit, but I'm waiting on the owner's manual to get here so I can see exactly what that process looks like. So yeah, you guys, I can't wait to bring you more videos and basically all the upgrades that I'm going to do to this bike. As you saw in the intro, this is super stock right now. I honestly haven't done a single thing to it with the exception of putting the quad lock on because I need my phone. Otherwise it's super stock right now. However, I did go ahead and buy all the parts that I want for this first phase of the build. Just to give you a quick rundown, got some new risers, got a new bar, got a Toast exhaust because I always wanted a Toast exhaust. Funny enough, on the FTR, it was just extremely expensive. It was almost like $2,000. So I opted not to go for that. So for now I just got a Toast slip-on, which should be here in the next couple of weeks hopefully, and I can bring you guys that video, show you a before and after, a how-to video for the install, and you know, my initial thoughts about it. And then finally I bought a tail tidy kit, which I plan on doing another video about as well. So stay tuned, we have a lot of good content coming up, and I can't wait to bring it all to you guys. I really hope I don't lose my FTR followers, because I totally enjoyed having you on the channel, but if you guys are not interested in this content of the Pan America or the Road Glide, then it's all good, man. I totally get it. I enjoyed having you all while you were here. Anyway, I will see you guys on the next video. Take care, be safe, and later. Peace.